so much for joining in on today's presentation. I hope everyone's continuing to stay healthy and that everyone is well. I'm Laura Schuler, and this is another episode of Finding the Details. In case you missed any of the other episodes that I did, just a reminder that all the presentations are available on the coach's site website, and it is free to all of its paying members. So be sure to check the other ones out. But this webinar series is about highlighting specific details or habits of play that I feel are extremely critical for bringing about consistency within your team's play and success within your programs. Just a reminder, I'm super more than happy to take any questions that you might have at the end of the presentation. Just be sure to put them into the Q&A box and we will go from there. Today we're going to be discussing a couple of details that I think are really important in determining your defensive zone's net front play. And oftentimes I've been asked, what's a better net front system? Is it boxing out or is it fronting? And for me, it's not about one or the other, but it's more about the reads that you have to make that is going to determine whether or not you're going to box out or front. So when we're talking about the reads, 3 reads that I like to use with our teams are the kind of puck movement that you're going to see on the ice, the shot location, so where the shot's coming from, and then is there a net front presence and where is that net front presence located? So when we look at the type of puck movement, is that puck movement going vertically? Is it moving low to high in the zone? Or is that puck moving across the top of the blue line? So is it a horizontal play prior to the shot being taken? When we look at shot location, is the shot coming from the outer thirds of the ice, either in this quadrant or in this section over here rather, or is the shot being taken from the middle part of the ice there? And then the last thing that we look at is, of course, the net front presence. So when we're looking at the net front presence, I'm trying to look at, is that net front presence located between the posts? So have they made their way in front of the goalie's eyes relative to where the shot is coming from? Or is that net front presence already outside the post? So these 3 determining factors: the kind of puck movement, is it low to high, is it east to west? Shot location, is it in the middle of the ice or the outer third of the offensive zone? Or is the net front presence, again, in front of the goalie's eyes, or are they outside the line of vision from the goalie to where the shot is coming from? So when we take a look at all of this, I have a couple of still frames here to have a look at. This is our net front system at work here. And essentially, this shot is actually coming off a horizontal play in the zone. We're looking at white here. We're Canada playing against the US. US is in blue here. And this shot is coming from the outer third of the ice. Okay, so in this still frame right here, you can see that the net front presence has already made their way between the pipe. Okay, so right here, our strong side D, we want to be in a fronting position. We don't want to try to push this person out of the way, because if we do, we're just going to end up screening our goalie and taking away our goalie's eyes off the puck. So in this situation, again, we're going to have our strong side D in a fronting position, while our weak side D or our backside D is going to be in a position where they're taking away any threats to the back post. Okay, and at the same time, they're not necessarily boxing out, but they're in a position where if they have to box out, they can box out. But at the same time, if we're able to block this shot, we're in a real good position to be able to jump on offense and join the rush. So our next clip here is this still frame here is off a puck movement, a vertical puck movement, so low to high play, versus the last one was off an east to west. This is off a low to high play. And here in this frame, you'll notice that our strong side D, instead of fronting here, is in a position where we're ready to box out if we have to, okay? And at the same time, if we are able to block this shot, we're in a great position to be able to join the rush. Meanwhile, our weak side D here is in a great position again to take care of our goalie's far post here, right? And at the same time, if we have to box out, we're close enough to be able to do that. But if we do block this shot, we're now in a position where we can join the rush. And here we're allowing our goalie to get eyes on the puck. So you can see our goalie is covering the short side of the net, which is the biggest part of the net. They should be able to control any rebounds from this area of the ice. And also making it harder for this defenseman to be able to score a goal or put any pucks through to the net, onto the net. If it does go to the far side of the net, relatively speaking, that goalie only has to make very small adjustment to be able to make that save. So I got one more still frame here to kind of show you, and this is coming from a shot from the middle of the ice here. In this picture here, our goalie's going to occupy the biggest part of the net, which is the middle part of the net. And any shots that are coming from the middle part of the net here, we want both of our defense to be taking care of any threats off the goalie's inside post. And here you can see both our D are doing a great job here of eliminating any threats off the post and off the post here. So that's basically the system in a nutshell. And we're going to watch some live video here. I think I have about 10 clips to be able to highlight what I just talked about. And these first 3 clips are all clips that are showing shots that are coming from the point off of east to west play. So passes that are made across the top of the blue line. So we're Canada here. We're in white. We're playing against the US. The US is in blue. The US have control of the puck. And they're going to move the puck across the top of the blue line up here. It's going to come across horizontally there. And now the shot. So when we take a look at this picture, okay, this shot is coming from the outer third of the ice. So it's not coming from the middle, it's coming from the outer third. Anytime that puck comes from the outer third of the ice, we want our strong side defenseman to be in a fronting position. Because if we try to really box this player out, we're just going to create a double screen on our goalie. So this allows our goalie to keep eyes on the puck. All right, we want our strong side D, again, to be in a good, strong fronting position. Meanwhile, our weak side D is ready to take away any threats that are coming in off that back post here. So I'm just going to rewind this clip here a little bit. We'll see the play come across, the pass come across the top of the blue line here. And here's the shot. And our D does a great job of getting in front of that puck and boxing it down, and we're able to get it out of our zone. So here's another clip, again, of movement across the top of the blue line. And these last 2 clips that I showed you were actually on the penalty kill. And this doesn't matter if it's 5-on-5 or penalty kill, the same principles apply, the same details apply. So again, US have control of the puck here, and you're going to see the puck move across the top of the blue line here. So it's going to get moved across back over to Hillary Knight here for a shot. And you can see that number 1, okay, this shot is coming again from the outer third of the ice, right? Not from the middle, the outer third. So we want our D to be fronting this. Same time, look at the net front presence, okay? If we were to draw a line from the post to where the shot is being taken from, all right? So from here to here, you can see that this net front presence has already found its way between the pipes here. So we're not going to worry about that. Instead, we've got to make sure that our goalie is able to look around this screen, get eyes on the puck. So we don't want this D here trying to push this player out. We want to be in a fronting position. But what's really important is that we want our backside D to playing off the goalie's far pad here and taking away any threats to the far side post, which would be number 26 here, Kendall Coyne off the far post. So we're in great position here, but what I want you to watch is number 14 here, Renata Fast for us. So I'm going to just rewind this clip just a little bit. You'll see the puck is going to start right here on the point. It's going to get moved around the horn on the power play. So horizontal puck movement. And then we do a great job of getting in front of this puck here and blocking it and getting it out of our zone. So one more clip here. We're in red this time, again, playing against the US. The US is in white, and we are 5-on-5. So last two clips were penalty killing. This is 5-on-5 play. You're going to see, again, horizontal puck movement. It's going to come across the top of the blue line here this way. All right, right over. And here's the shot. Okay, so if I rewind this just a little bit to here, you'll notice that this net front presence has already made its way, their way, all right, relative to the shot, right, between the pipes. So this clip here, you can clearly see that we don't want this person to try to push this player out of the way, because if we do, she's just going to take away our goalie sight line. Okay, so this is really important. So instead of creating that double screen here, what we want this player to do is try to create a single screen by getting in front and fronting this shot right here. At the same time, okay, our backside D are going to take any threats away off the goalie's far pad here. They are at great positioning. And notice that we're not boxing out. We're not like engaging in a battle here or a fight here, but we're in position first. Position is critical. We're between the net and the opponent. We're ready to box out if need be. And the same thing right here, between the net and our check. Okay, so we're in great positioning here. But watch our captain, Mary Philip Plynn here. What a spectacular play that she does. I'll just rewind this just a second. You'll see the puck come across the top of the blue line. US takes a shot, and Poulin's able to get in front of that, block that, and we're able to get control of that puck and hoist it out of our zone. So this next three clips that I'm going to show you is now going to be shots that are coming off of vertical puck movement, so low to high puck movement in the zone. But in particular, what I want you to watch is our defender here in the battle that happens on the boards. Because as this puck moves low to high and a shot is taken, what we want to do is we want to establish position first. So we got to push off our check here, and we got to make sure that we're not getting beat back to the front of the net, so we can establish position first. And then if we need to box out, we're going to box out here. So watch this clip. US is going to go low to high here, and here's a shot. And if I rewind that, you'll see we didn't do a very good job, okay, right here on the boards. So we tried to push up, our stick gets kind of caught here, and we lose the battle to the front of the net. But we're really lucky. Our goalie's got a great sight line on the puck. This is, again, a shot coming from the outer third of the ice here. And this puck just gets through, but our goalie has good vision on that puck the entire time. But really what we want to see is we don't want to lose this battle right here. We've got to beat our check back to this position right here. So now if we have to box out, we can box out, and that allows our goalie to be able to keep eyes on the puck. Here's another clip where we do a better job of this. Again, we're going to see the puck move low to high here, so vertical puck movement in our D zone. And then watch right here, okay? So we've got our D doing, our defender doing a great job right here. We're not battling with them, but we're in great position between the player and the post. So if we have to box out, we will. At the same time, our net front player, okay, we're not getting involved in a battle here. We're not duking it out. We're not fighting here. We're still in a good fronting position. Both defenders have to take care of their side of the royal road here. But we're in great position where we're close enough if the puck gets through where we can lift a stick and tie that player up and help out our goalie. But meanwhile, our goalie's filling the big part of the net here, the short side of the net. Has great eyes on the puck. But watch this player here. We end up blocking this shot right here with our 4. I'll rewind it. We block it. But now our D, notice that net front D is in a great position to get up the ice. Okay, in this next clip here, you'll really be able to see it, the same thing happen here. So the puck's going to go low to high in our zone here. Again, we're in red, playing against the US is in white. And there's going to be a shot that comes from just the half wall right here where the Pyeongchang sign is. So right here, you'll see our defense does a great job right here. I'll rewind it where she gives a little stinger, pushes off her check and creates position. So now she's between her player and the goalie right here, which is a great job. Watch her do a little sting here, little boom, and now she's in good position. But this is what I want to show you right here, where now our net front D, we're not worried about getting this person like battling it out in front of the net. We've got eyes on the puck. Everybody knows what's going on. And because we do this, I'll rewind it again. US able to put the puck towards the net. We're able to be first to that puck, and our D can now join the rush. Now we got a great attack going where we got a nice triple drive happening 1, 2, 3, and we have our D getting up the rush as our second wave of the attack here. And now just we're going to keep our eyes here on Sarah Nurse as she comes in over the blue line here. She does a spectacular play for us and is able to put that puck under the crossbar for us and score a really nice goal. So this next clip here actually is, I wanted to talk about this because sometimes you're not able to control the area of the ice like you would like to. You know, there's going to be times where you're at a position of disadvantage. And so what do you do when you find yourself in those situations? And here there's going to be vertical puck movement where the puck's going to go low to high here, but you'll notice that the US has 1, 2, 3 players all on the same side of the ice. So this is not something that this happens often a lot, but it's not necessarily the picture perfect position where our net front D is in a good position to be able to box out if they have to. So we're going to watch number 5 here and what she does. Puck's going to go low to high here. And number 5, so here we're not in a great position where we're not able to control this area and you know, push this player outside the puck line. The only thing that we're able to do, and instead of engaging in more of a battle and putting yourself into a further position of disadvantage, the only thing that we can really do is create a single screen here by getting tight in behind this player and then lifting up her stick. And Lauriane Rougeau does a really, really nice here and getting nice and tight here, creating the single screen so we're not double screening on our goalie and we're eliminating the stick so there's no risk of a deflection play or anything like that. So we'll watch this play out. Puck's going to go low to high here. Here's the shot on net. We do a good job of eliminating the stick, and we're now in a good position where, again, if I were to rewind this, you can see that all of our defenders are in a good position where they're located between the opponent and the net, taking away any kind of threats. And now our forwards are able to collect that puck, and we're going back the other way. Another clip here that I just want to show you. This puck's going to actually move back towards the middle of the ice here, but you can see on this clip, we just had a horizontal pass made. Shot is coming from the outer third. So again, our D is in a fronting position. We're in good position over here where we're putting ourselves between our check and the net right here. We're ready to box out if we have to. All right, we're doing a really nice job here. Puck gets moved back towards the middle of the ice. So now the shot is coming from the middle of the ice here. When the shot comes from the middle of the ice, again, their net front player has already established position on us right here. All right, they're already in front of the net. So our goalie's got to occupy the biggest part of the net, which is the middle. But our D are responsible for taking care of any threats off the inside post. Here, this is the threat, and here, there's the US player who's the threat there. All right, so we're going to leave this player here for our goalie. Our goalies, you can see, she can easily look over that person and find the puck here. But again, if we try to move her, then we're just going to create a double screen on our goalie. All right, so we're ready to box out. We're ready to box out if need be. And I'll just rewind this and we'll see this play out. Puck comes to the middle of the ice there. And Brianne Jenner does, number 19, a great job of actually getting that, actually, hitting that puck out of the air there for us. So here's another uh, clip here. Shot's going to come from the middle of the ice. So here, the U.S. winding up for a slap shot here. It's coming from the middle third of the ice. All right. So in this clip, again, if we look, the net front presence has already established themselves in front of the net. So instead of trying to move that player, we're just going to let our goalie deal with that player. And now our 2D, you can see 1D here and 1D just at the side of our screen here. We're going to worry about this threat, and there's another threat low here down on the goal line. So we're going to worry about those two threats as this shot comes. So watch this, shot's going to come. And then here are our D doing a great job right here and right here, eliminating any threats off the post. And that way our goalie is able to, keep eyes on the puck here and make a good save for us. And we're able to eliminate that threat. And now our forwards pick up the loose puck and we're going back the other way. So I think I have one last clip here of a shot that ends up coming from the middle of the ice. And I want you to focus in on the net front that's happening right here. I want you to focus in on this player and what happens here. So I'm just going to play this out and rewind it just a bit. So watch this. She does a little stinger. There's the push right there. She pushes her out of the way. Okay, there's the push right there. And that allows our goalie to be able to see the puck clearly. So if I were to rewind this or fast forward this here, right here, you can see this is the little stinger that's happening. Okay, here's the push. We just pushed her out of the way. All right, and that allowed our goalie eyes on the puck. And this is a really, really good look at this. You can't really see it because it's behind the ref here, but the push just happened. And now we have a clear sight line to the puck. And that is a real easy, obviously save for our goalie to make there. So just I wanted to share some drills with you to practice your net front play. These are 4 of my favorite drills. And so I'll just quickly, I'm sure it's a lot of you probably are familiar with them, but this is a 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3 battle with point shots. It starts out with a 1-on-1 battle. So what happens is the coach blows a whistle, which starts this F1 against D1. F1's going to try to take it to the net and score. And you let that play out for about 5-6 seconds. And then as a coach, you're going to blow the whistle. That puck is then now dead. And that same whistle will start a new 2v2 battle with F2 and F1 now attacking the net and D1 and D2 defending. And our only rule is that F2 has to make a pass to F1 before they can actually attack the net. Again, let that play out 5-6 seconds. You'll blow the whistle from there, and that will start the new 3-on-3 battle. With this one here on the 3-on-3, again, now you have F3, F1, and F2 all fighting against the black defenders here, F3, D1, and D2. And again, our only rule is you have to make one pass before attacking the net, or now you can move the puck up to the points. And if you move the puck up to the points, our rule here is this point is going to have basically 2 seconds. They either have to get the puck on net or they have to move the puck D to D. They can go D to D wide. They can go D to D to the middle. They can go D to D back to D again. But they can't hold on to the puck for anything longer than 2 seconds. So again, the whole drill takes about 35-40 seconds, but it's a great drill where again, your 3 defenders, the only thing here is they cannot attack the D. They have to worry about either fronting or boxing out. Next drill that I have, this is some people call this 2v2 elevator. We just call it 2v2 net front. I like this drill a lot. It starts out with the 2 white forwards down at the one end just taking off. F1 and F2 take off with a puck and they attack D1 and D2 down the ice. So if I were to point that out, here they are battling it out in front of the net. 2v2 as a coach, you can let that play out for a few seconds. But on the whistle, you're going to have F3 is going to now put a new puck into play. You're going to have a vertical puck movement, low to high. And on this one, we're simulating net front play off a D to D long pass. So again, that puck is coming from not the middle of the ice, but the outer thirds of the ice. And now we have F3 and F4 who just move the puck. They're going to attack off the post here. And now D1 and D2 have got to work on whether or not they're going to front or box out F3 and F4, who are now working with D3 and D4. And meanwhile, on that release, when F3 moves the puck, F2 and F1 are going to pressure out hard on D3 and D4. That's going to force them to really move the puck quickly and get the puck on net. And as soon as that shot is taken, and again, you can let this battle out for a little bit, but then you can blow the whistle again. And now F3 and F4 will get a new puck from the line and attack back down the other way against D3 and D4. So it's continuous back and forth going both ways. Great drill. And so we use this drill a lot for again, vertical, working off of vertical high passes in the zone, D to D wides, and shots coming from the outer third of the ice. This next 2v2 net front drill that we do, we're simulating shots coming from the middle of the ice. And so how this drill works, it's a lot of fun again. The coach will initiate by moving the puck up to D1, who moves it across the ice to D2 in the middle of the ice for a shot. But as soon as D2 takes that shot, F1 and F2 here in white leave without a puck, and the coach passes them a puck and they'll attack down the ice against D1 and D2. So here they are, F1 and F2 in the zone attacking against D1, D2 here. Again, you can let that play out for a little bit, and then the coach will blow the whistle. And now we're going to move a puck low to high here. And again, you know, D to D with a middle shot. And now D1 and D2 have to work on, you know, protecting the sides of the net here with your goalie, while your goalie occupies the big part of the net here, and D1 and D2 are taking away the inside post. Soon as that shot is taken, now you have both new and F3 and F4 are going to come across here, the ice, and attack against D3 and D4 and go back the other way. So that's a lot of fun drill. And then one last drill that I have here for everybody is just, this ends up being a 5v2 with point shots. And on this one, you just have an exchange of puck here across the blue line where F1 zips it across to F3, F3 drops to F2, and then F1, 2, and 3 neutral zone regroup with D1 and D2 here in the neutral zone. You can work on whatever kind of neutral zone build patterns that you like to skate. But D1 and D2 are going to move the puck up, and you're going to attack back against D3 and D4 here. And our general thing is off the rush here. If there's any kind of a rebound, we let them play that out. If they score, we'll have a coach here pop another puck into the corner. And now our only rule is similar to the other drills where the forwards have to make one pass before attacking the net again. So now it's a 5-on-2 in the zone. And here, after the one pass, they can choose to attack the net, or they can choose to go back to D1 and D2 who have followed the play up the ice. And now the same rules apply with our D, where they only have, 2 seconds to either get that puck directly on net or move the puck D to D. And the one thing that I like about this is now you're looking at a whole bunch of different shots from your points. Like it could be a shot coming off a vertical pass. It could be a shot coming off a horizontal pass. And now your red D here are obviously making decisions on whether or not they have to box or front. And again, you let that play out. for another 10 seconds or so, and then blow the whistle. And now you'll have the red F1, F2, F3 start anew going the other way. And your D rotation is usually you defend, regroup, and attack. So these D3 and D4 here who just defended, they're deep in the zone here. They jump up to the red line and obviously would regroup and attack with the red forwards down here going the other way. Love this drill. It's a lot of fun. The kids really, really enjoy it. So, that is the presentation, and hopefully you guys, were able to, get a good sense of the difference between boxing out and fronting. For us, again, it's not necessarily about engaging in the battle, but more about positioning, and that allows us to be able to join the rush. If we're able to block a shot and at the same time, box out if we need to. So I'm going to take a couple of questions. I see we have a few in the Q&A box, and I'll try to answer those the best we can here. So first one is, does the fronting D have to block the shot? Yes. Do they have to? Essentially, that's what we're hoping that they're going to do, and why we have them front is so that you can block that shot, hit it down, and advance to an offensive position, and jump to offense. So that's definitely what we are hoping for. So next question here that I have is, any cues or details you provide your defenseman for boxing out? Yeah, I guess that the only one is try to establish that inside positioning. Like here, if I were to show you guys on this screen right here, like it is so important here that you have inside positioning on this player, so that you can box out if you have to box out on that player. The other thing is, once the shot is taken and goes to net, you're now in a good position where you can control this area, versus if you're behind the player, obviously, and a shot comes, you're the only thing you can do is obviously lift up sticks. Sometimes that's going to happen, but I would say the cue that we always give, and the detail that we always give our defense is to make sure you're between the net and the opponent as much as possible, so that now when a shot is taken, you can really turn and you're going to be first to that rebound versus the opponent being first to that rebound. So next question here, what are the greatest challenges for defenders in net front position? Great question. I think sometimes when you're not able to control the area like you really want to be able to control the area, making split-second decisions. And that's why it's just so important that you practice your net front, play and systems, a lot, because just the more comfortable they can get at making those decisions, whether they're going to box or whether they're going to front, I think the better. I think one of the biggest challenges is that people are afraid of the puck, and we always tell our kids too with fronting that the more you can get out, you're able to it's easier to block a shot versus staying in tight, so if you're that fronting D, try to get out as much as possible. If you're the net front D on the weak side, that's when you want to be closer to your check, because you're taking care of that far post. So in this situation here on the board, the strong side obviously is this side of the ice over here, right? And the weak side is this side of the ice over here. So if you're going to be in a fronting position over here, like the distance between you and that player can be greater. Over here, you want it to be less on the weak side, because if anything does get through, you want to be able to be in a position where you can box that player out. So next question here, which types of shot and passes are the hardest to defend in net front position. Um, which types of shots? So, I think the one thing that I can say um, is that, sometimes um, when there's a lot of traffic in front of you, I think that the puck can get redirected redirected on its way in easily, and that can make it very, very challenging. But sometimes some of those light shots are the hardest to defend because they're going at various speeds and can easily get redirected and so forth. So your question is a tough one for me to answer. But I think again it maybe goes back to your other question and just that what is the greatest challenge is just getting your D to want to be able to block a shot without doing the flamingo or turning away and letting that puck go through. Another question here: should you vary net front play depending on the age group of your team? Great question. Um, you know, I'm going to go with no. Just because obviously I think with the younger ones that they're not necessarily um, especially at with the little ones, their shots aren't as hard, so getting them used to blocking shots, there's less risk of them getting hurt. um, but getting them used to doing it at a younger age is probably one of the best things that you could teach your young defensemen. So um, another question here I have is should you vary net front play? Sorry, we just asked that one. What changes are made if you do not have an elite goaltender with good rebound control? That's a great question. So, generally speaking, shots again that are coming from the outer third of the ice here, you want your goalie to occupy the short side of the net here. Um, I would say that if your goalie isn't great with rebounds, that's when you probably don't want your defender maybe to come out as far and maybe to be a little bit closer to the person that they're covering here to eliminate sticks. But you know, uh, you got to work with your goalie on rebounds. Generally speaking, when your goalie is occupying the short side of the net, which is the biggest side of the net, that should also be the easiest um, in terms of save selection for them to be able to control those rebounds. And also it's they have to make less movement to make any saves to the far side of the post there as well. But again, your D is in a position where they can help eliminate any threats off that far post. So, I'd say you got to work on your goalie with that rebound control. Like that is just so important, and just continue to do it on a daily basis. So I think we got last question here. I think it might be a two-part question. Um, but in practices, do you create recovery situations from an error like a lost battle low, or when a player blows a wheel, and then what? Or what now questions? Um, Number one, I think I try to eliminate. I try not to answer what now questions, what now questions, what happens now and now, because hockey, everything happens so quickly on the ice. And you really have to get your players to feel good about the decisions that they're making. Um, but with all of our drills in terms of recovery situations, we always have second pucks. So, whenever we come back, say a 3-on-2 or anything like that, we might allow them to play out a quick rebound, but then we're always, putting in a second puck into play so that, they are creating those situations where now the puck has gone to the corner and they have to close gaps quickly and you know um, be able to eliminate second chances from coming at your net. So the second part of that question is, use drills like the one described, or small area games and continuous simulation? Or, sorry, not sure if I understand your question. Do you use drills like the ones described, or are small area games and continuous simulations better? Um, you know, well, those are the drills that I described are some of my favorite ones. I think anytime you do drills um, around the net, um, where you're incorporating point shot, there's a ton of great small area games, and we always finish off with a small area game on all of our stuff. And anytime you do small area drills with point shots, you're incorporating that net front component. And I think both are really important, to be able to do. And for me, I don't know if it's that I like one more so than the other. Um, you get benefit out of doing a variety of things, and I always feel like kids really like variety. So hopefully I've answered your questions. And again, I hope you guys got something from the presentation and that you enjoyed it. Um, our next presentation that we are going to be doing, we're going to take a little break here for the holidays, but our next one is going to be on January the 6th, again at 3 p.m. Eastern. And for that presentation, I will be discussing the forecheck, and in particular, triangular reads, and how F1 dictates the structure of what your forecheck is going to look like. So hopefully you can join us in the new year on January 6th. Again, thank you so much for being a part of today's presentation. And again, I hope everyone is staying well, and that everyone in your family, everyone is staying healthy during these very challenging times. So happy holidays to everybody out there, and thanks again for tuning in. Take care. Bye, everyone.